We don't wanna be enemies. I got men with me, I got wings. You gon' step in my ship, you gon' mess with the king.
Hello everybody, how's it going? This week I got fired from my day job, which helps me pay the bills and all the fun stuff, provide for my family. And it's been tough. It's been a tough week. But luckily, we're here at More Fanime, and today I'm here to review Chapter 1080 of the One Piece manga. Yes! Because when times get tough, One Piece is always there to catch you when you fall. And I'll land on my feet, but I'm happy to have this chapter here to bring my spirits up, because One Piece always does that. One Piece is a world I can escape to when the real world is just closing in on you. One Piece can protect you. One Piece is always there. And it can live in my head rent-free. This chapter was awesome. I'll tell you that much right now. This chapter had nothing to do with what's going on at the Egghead Island currently. And I feel like the next time we go back to Egghead Island, something big is gonna happen, because we don't even check in on what's happening over there. No! Chapter 1080 is a complete side story situation, very important story. Finally, we get to see what happened to Kobe after he was taken hostage by the Blackbeard pirates. Finally, we get a little bit of an update on our boy Garpski and his squad of sword members who are out and about, ready to save their buddy, old pal, Kobe. Yes! This entire chapter was essentially centered around our boy Kobe on Pirate Island, on Hachinosu. I have a hard time saying that, but on Pirate Island, the place, the beehive type island that Blackbeard runs. He rules over, full of criminals and whatnot. It's really cool, if you ask me. I really do hope that one day the Straw Hat crew comes over to Pirate Island someday, to the Blackbeard headquarters, and just go all out, balls out. But after this chapter, I'm thinking this island might be lucky to even be on the map after what Garp is throwing down. This chapter kicks off. We get a little bit of a cover story, or it's not even a cover story. It was just another one of those fan illustrations that Oda does. It was the frog, Mink, and Kamamatsu, I think, and Hiyori making origami down in Wano. I mean, Wano, what am I saying? Wano for sure. You could consider this little side like, hey, this is what they're up to. They're just doing origami, which I could see being a thing in Wano. So it's not like all the way out there. It's not like Luffy watering sunflowers and not realizing he's watering a lion. So this definitely could be a cover story. It's not. It's not, though. But you could mentally think, I could see Hiyori doing that. I could see her making origami with a crane behind her, just a static. But after that, we get right into chapter 1080 proper, and we get to see Kobe has escaped. He hasn't just escaped captivity since he was captured by Blackbeard, but he's escaped along with a shit ton of other prisoners who knows how long they've been there. These prisoners that, slaves and whatnot that live on Pirate Island forcefully and what. We don't know any of them, a lot of no-name people. Kobe's got this giant, cannonball he's carrying around, trying to run away. It looks like they attached it to his leg ski, very classic, prisoner cannonball type thing, keeping you from getting away. But, Kobe's a tough SOB. My mind was like, why doesn't he just break that thing off? It must be made of, sea prism stone, and that's pretty much unbreakable. That's my only guess, and it's just real heavy, and it's just there to keep him held down since he doesn't have a devil fruit ability that we know of. But Kobe's helping people. He is the hero. They nail that in this chapter about how Kobe is the hero of the Navy. And he's known as that, at least on the Grand Line. And Blackbeard knows that. Blackbeard knows Kobe is considered a hero amongst the people. He's a savior, a good Marine who does his job. He's well known for being a secret sword member, I'll tell you that. But Blackbeard decided, I'm going to take this kid. Yeah, I'm going to take this kid and I'm going to use him. I'm going to use him as a hostage. I'm going to use him as a bartering tool because I'm going to make Hachinosu, I'm going to make Pirate Island an official island. And I'm going to be the king. King Blackbeard. And that's exactly what he said. But before he can get too excited, Kuzan, our boy Aokiji, is there on his right and he's saying, no. That's just not how the Marines work, and I would know because I used to be an admiral. Since Kobe here is a member of SWORD, basically SWORD members resigned at one point of being an official Marine, and they get to do whatever they want to protect, peace and justice and all that fun stuff. But the government doesn't consider them their responsibility. Basically, you lose the protection of the Marines by becoming a SWORD member, but you gain the ability to challenge an emperor if you want. Kind of like how Drake was slowly, working his way into trying to take down Kaido. Speaking of Drake, Drake wasn't here, so I'm guessing Drake did not join, or they didn't find Drake or whatever, and he did not join the Save Kobe squad. But, yeah, so Kuzan is basically saying they will not give you shit, Blackbeard. Not for Kobe. Maybe he's just saying that for Kobe. But it does seem like, wow, you just made him dispensable. Maybe we should just cut his head off then. Maybe we should just get rid of him. Why keep him around? But Blackbeard, he's thinking, 20 steps ahead. He's like, why don't you just throw him in the prison cells that we have underneath the island or whatever, along with the other trash, and when we need him, we'll use him. We'll use him in some way, shape, or form. I'm not sure if Blackbeard is aware of Kobe's relationship with Luffy, but that could be another way of using him as a bartering chip to get away from the Straw Hat crew if they ever ended up in a pickle. But this was all flashback information we were given. Really what's happening is we have Pizarro, this guy who's part of Blackbeard's crew, which we know very little of. Apparently he has the power of the island fruit. It's very, very, almost criminally similar to Pika's devil fruit from Dressrosa. Pika, who could just become part of stone. He had the stone fruit. But apparently, whatever island Pizarro's on, he can basically animate anything on that island, create his face in walls and shit. He even controls the giant skull that's on Pirate Island. He's just basically in full control of this island. We see San Juan Wolf, the giant, who has the giant fruit, who we also know very little about, but he's a giant who can get even gianter. Vasco Shot. Yes, Vasco Shot is there, and so is Shiryu of the Mist, the fella who can turn himself invisible after stealing the devil. These guys all have very accurate devil fruits. Vasco Shot has the liquor fruit, so he can basically, he's a paramecia is my guess, and he can manipulate alcohol and probably awaken it and create things and turn it into alcohol, just like how Doflamingo had the power to manipulate strings, but since he awoken it, he could turn things into strings. It's going to be something like that. These guys don't really do a whole lot except explain shit of what's been going on, having little convos, because Kobe's running around. Kobe's trying to distract them because they are on the hunt. They want Kobe and they want him alive, because Blackbeard right now is not on Pirate Island. He is out fighting Law, so we still don't know what's going on with Law. That's still going down. Good chances Blackbeard will show back up with Law as a prisoner or something, but we'll see. Things keep making twists and turns in this story, I swear. But it does seem like Shiryu is in charge, and he's a little disappointed. He's like, how did you let them get out? Thing is, no one let them get out. They got help getting out. Yes! One of my favorite females in the entire story, Perona, is back in action. In one panel, we get to see her in a little bit of a flashy back that Kobe remembers of her helping him break out. And she says to Kobe, I will help you and these other prisoners break out, but you have to promise me you will help me get Gecko Moria out of the prison as well. Apparently Gecko Moria is being held in another part of this island. I don't know if Kobe decided to say, fuck that guy and keep going. I'm not sure what happened there, but Moria was not with Kobe's little gang of escapees. He would easily be noticed. He's a big boy. He's a big old creepy boy. So Kobe might need to go back and save him once he gets a little bit of a foothold here. First off, he's trying to get these civilians out of here by running around this island, keeping the top diggity dogs distracted. So there, he's trying to get them away. Kobe thinks there's no way he's going to get away himself. At the very least, he can help these people, and that's why he is the hero of the Marines. He is pure good, lawful good. All the good stuff is inside Kobe. Yes, he could definitely ride the Flying Nimbus. But luckily for Kobe, during the same day that he's escaping, Sword and Garp decide to launch their attack on Pirate Island. They decide to rescue Kobe at the perfect possible moment. Yes, I love it. We get to see the powers of Prince Gross, is a Groose Ghost, whatever. He is basically Clayface from Batman. He can create, I think he's a Paramecia or a Logia, but he can create clay people fighters, and I'm assuming he can turn himself into clay, or at least create a shield of it of some sort. We're being introduced to a handful of Marines that we've never met before. They're all Sword members. We get to meet, one of them has the power of the whip fruit, so she can tame people, and she can turn things into whips. She even turns a sword that she carries into a whip, and she's like, I'll tame you too. We get to see Kobe's future wife, the lady who is very desperate into saving him. She shows up and she's got a sniper. The girl I was talking about before that, though, the whip fruit, is the grandchild of the great advisor to Siru. As you know, the lady that we've seen occasionally throughout the story, who was, I think, talking to Doflamingo when they captured Doflamingo in the ship, all that fun stuff. But yeah, she has the power of the tame fruit, or the whip fruit, whatever you want to call it. And then we get to see Sword member Hibari, who just looks badass. She's a bit of a sniper. She fires a bullet at a group of pirates who had Kobe surrounded. And you think, oh shit, death is about to happen. No! She uses the very weapon we saw invented during the cover story that recently happened involving Vegapunk. We saw that Vegapunk won a Nobel Prize, basically, for creating some kind of device that turns bullets into flowers. So somehow her bullet fired and turned all of these other pirates' bullets into flowers. And so when they shot at Kobe, trying not to kill him, they just launched a bunch of flowers around. And we're like, whoa, what's happening? Even I was like, does she have the power of the flower fruit or something? And I didn't get it at all. But I guess it's a scientific weapon. I don't think Hibari has a devil fruit ability. But she does love Kobe, and she's there to save him. Prince Groose is just like, we got him. And then at the very end of the chapter, in the last 3 chapters, we get to see, I believe, being Tashigi, and I can only assume that Smoker is with her because they're always together. They are a pair, are with them. So Tashigi and Smoker might be with this gang here, which is awesome, because that means they have a bit of a squad. If you got Smoker and Tashigi on your team, you're doing something right, if you ask me. And of course, Hilnepo, who's ready to rock, who's, I think, piloting the ship. They launch their ship onto the island. Garp jumps off. He's very stoked, and he's like, you guys made a mistake, because you captured not only the hero of the Marines, Kobe, but the future of the Marines and my beloved pupil. And he comes in with Conqueror's hockey fist and essentially annihilates the entire city from what I can see. Most of Pirate Island has been destroyed. I don't know for sure, not until we get to the next chapter or whenever we check in what's happening here. But he comes down with a galaxy impact. He has all forms of hockey. Garp is a G. He is the past strongest person in the world. I wish Blackbeard was here. I don't know what's going to happen. Since Blackbeard isn't here, he might show up. Maybe not. I don't think so. I think if Oda wanted Blackbeard here, he would have just had him here for this confrontation. It does seem like it's going to be Shiryu and Pizarro and the San Juan Wolf. All of them, it does seem like it's going to be Vasco Shot. They're going to have to take on these sword members. They, in my opinion, if they're going to be a future emperor enemy for the Straw Hat crew, they need a big victory here. They need to go toe-to-toe with the sword members. Yes! Garp could just drop this bomb, this atom bomb of a fist, grab Kobe and let's get out of here. But they also need to grab Gecko Moria and Perona. We're not going to forget about them, are we? I hope they're okay after that giant fist. I assume Garp is just I could just go all out. There's no civilians here except the ones escaping, and we got them. And that's when Garp decides to strike, when there's no chance of casualties. And so Garp is ready to go. Garp could probably take on all of these people, all of these, captains that work for Blackbeard. There's a good chance. Will Blackbeard become a king of this island? That'd be interesting. I'm down for the title of King Blackbeard. That's a big what if that might happen soon. But I think maybe Oda is leaning over here. Maybe we'll finish this little story. I hope we don't jump back to Egghead Island. I just want to see what's happening here. Pretty much everything that's happened outside of Egghead Island is so much more interesting to me than what's happening at Egghead Island. Maybe because it just feels like the Reverie, but times 10 right now with all these big moments. Kid going down, Law possibly going down, Garp could be going down here, because I could see Garp saying, all right, get the civilians, get Kobe, get him on the ship, I will stay and fight. I could see Garp doing that. Garp could be like, these guys are tough. Every one of them, Vasco Shot, all of them, they're above your guys' pay grade, but they're not above me. I could beat any one of them 1-on-1, 2-on-1, but maybe not 4-on-1. I mean, San Juan Wolf is huge. It would be kind of cool to see Garp and San Juan Wolf fight and Garp just demolish that big motherfucker. Just ends him before he can even become a threat. And then maybe he gets attacked from behind by Shiryu. He's invisible. Boom! Knife, sword to the back. I'm assuming he's awoken his invisibility devil fruit so he can be pretty much totally invisible, kind of like the chameleon character from Hunter x Hunter, where he can basically be unnoticeable, and all he has to do is run his blade into Garp's heart, and then, I don't care how tough Garp is. If he's not prepared for the attack, if he's not using his armament hockey, that blade's going to sever that heart. Garp is an old man. He can only fight for so long, and I think that we're about to see a major sadness. This could be equivalent to Jiraiya's death against Pain in Naruto. That could be what's happening here. Garp's going to have to take on an army. He did bring a squad, though. He either plans for that squad of the sword to get away and maybe tell Luffy what happened. But Garp might make the ultimate sacrifice here, or they'll all get away. They might all get away, and but really, if the Blackbeard pirates let Garp and Kobe get away, and all these sword members that just happened to land in their lap, I'd be pissed. I was like, Blackbeard's like, we're an emperor's crew, and you let these Marines come in and beat you without even thinking straight? I know Garp's strong, but I put you guys on my squad because I assumed at least 3 of you could take on Garp 1-on-3. Come on! That's what I'm thinking might happen. I'm thinking Garp might get taken down here, but I think Kobe will get away to tell the tale. To tell Luffy what happened to his grandpa, to really spark the flame behind Luffy's eyes, and he's like, Ace, Garp, I will avenge you! And they show up and they just whip some ace on Pirate Island, whatever's left of it. I mean, that's my first thought. That's probably what's going to happen. I can't imagine Garp getting away. I mean, I do want to see Garp and Luffy speak together one last time. That's a possibility too. I mean, we might not even jump back to this in the next chapter. Oda has never been this, I know there's so much going on in the world, but he's never jumped from place to place to place to place. He usually does that between arcs, but we're doing it all in one arc. It is basically this mishmash of all these important moments happening at once. And the next time we go back to Egghead Island, one of the biggest moments of all time is going to happen, and we don't know what that is. Something that's going to shock the entire world. I'm starting to think, because I don't think Kuzan is on Pirate Island, I think he is the one who's showing up at Egghead Island. I think Kuzan and Kizaru are going to end up dueling it out. That's my prediction, and that's how the Straw Hats are going to get away, and that's how Kizaru is either going to be defeated by Kuzan, totally reasonable, or it's just going to end in like a draw type situation. But I really hope not. I want Kizaru to get his moment as a major villain or antagonist. This is more Fanime. What did you think of chapter 1080? I loved it. I think it was on par with last week's chapter with Kid getting his ace beat. Or even better, just seeing Garp in action just gets my tingles tingling. Don't forget to comment down below. Let me know. I'll talk to you later.